And we're back. Another episode of Frieren, Journey Beyond. Jeez, I don't know why I had a hard time saying that. We're reviewing episodes 11, episode 11. Um, what the title is? I forgot. Heroes Welcome or something. I forgot the name of the episode title already. Shoot.
Hmm.
That's not it. Where's the history? Where is it? A Real Hero is the title of the episode. All right. So I want to say two things happened this episode. One of them, I guess three things. We saw the aftermath of Frieren's fight with Aura, and how the townspeople wanted to, thank Frieren, and also the fact that they were, at least the king specifically, or like the guy head of the town was like thankful for Frieren not destroying the armor. She apparently was fighting in such a way, as Jog made mention before, of not destroying the armor. I guess is a nice way. I guess it's being nice, even though it doesn't seem like Frieren was thinking about that a lot as it was happening. Maybe it was just like subconscious. But I guess that was nice of her to do that, and she. I think that happened in this episode. I feel like I don't remember all of it. Yeah, I can. Oh, never mind. That was from last episode. Jeez, that was recapping last episode. I apologize.
Oh yeah.
So only two things happen this episode: is them traveling through the mountain, the snow capes, the snow mountains, and then Frieren, Frieren is like kind of slowly ascending. Well, Fern and Stark are in front of her, walking at a normal pace. But Frieren, I think it's just Frieren doesn't like the cold. She's like slowly moving because of it, and then Frieren, she knows that Frieren's like about to collapse, and then she collapses. And Fern offers to carry her, and Stark offers. This is the start of the Fern, the Fern. I don't understand her part of the podcast. I apologize in advance. Stark offers to carry her, and for some dumb reason, Fern calls him a pervert, and I don't understand it. And this just starts.
It's the way his hands were switching when he was asking.
But he wasn't. I'm so confused because I understand it looks creepy, but at the same time, she could just say, "Will you stop doing that?" She goes out of her way to insult him and never help him.
She doesn't want him to know how he. She doesn't want him to know how she knows that he's a pervert.
There's only one little instance of him being a pervert, and it's the clouds later on. What does that guy do with the rest of his personality? He's normal otherwise. He's flat out normal. I'm sorry. I know this is sounding like I'm crazy right now, but I don't understand Fern. To me, she's bullying him, and it doesn't make any darn sense. I sense no love in this whatsoever. Like this is like where my stance is on this. I know he's on the side of that she's got a crush on him. I don't see it at all. Nothing she's doing at all is revealing that she has any feelings for him, like at all. She, as far as I'm concerned, she hates him. I'm sorry. I need to get that out. It's just I don't feel any better.
Maybe she's just got layers.
It doesn't make any sense. She's doing nothing. Sorry.
Maybe she's got onions got layers. Ogres got layers. Maybe wizards got layers.
There's no layers to her. I'm sorry. There's no layers to her. There's none.
She does start seeing a different side to him.
Doesn't matter.
Through this episode. I think the whole point of this episode was to one of the major points of this episode was to kind of show that she's softening up just a little bit to him. She's
not though. I don't get it. Everything she does contradicts her last statement. Well, not last statement, but her last action. Everything she does in this episode just contradicts everything. I'm sorry, it doesn't make any dang sense. I watched this episode and I was just so irritated. Maybe I'm projecting trauma, but I don't know. She literally makes absolutely no sense to me. Nothing she does makes any sense. She be nice to him, and then immediately after that, is mean to him. What in the world? None of that. I would forgive it if this wasn't after every time she was nice to him. She's called him a perv multiple times. I'm not sitting there saying that none of those times were warranted. Some of them were for sure. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend that they weren't. But there's like the time but other times she's called him a perv for no reason.
Actually, I'm interested in which time you think was warranted, because I don't think he's been a pervert at all. Looking at a cloud and going hee hee boobies, I guess, is perverted, but it doesn't like mean that you are now defined as a perv.
She's defining him because she keeps on calling him that. That's the only thing other than Mr. Stark.
I think that's the only perverted thing he's done, like his hee hee boobies when he looked at a funny cloud.
That's one of the times. I mean, you could also say that Stark, when he was trying to hold Frieren, he probably should have been gesturing like that. I know that's not what he meant by any of it.
I think he just was really innocent and awkward. I don't think there was anything actually perverted going on there, and I don't think there was anything in his mind that was perverted.
Fern irritates me every time she calls him a perv, and it always seems to be just random moments of, I don't know what's going on in her brain. Like, I don't think she likes him at all. There's no reason behind why she would insult him so often. And this is like, it's not even just like a one-off thing. She's done this multiple times. She's even called him a perv episodes ago. I can't exactly recall the moments, but I know she's called him a perv on multiple occasions. She does it the most here in an episode about his birthday. And then, I mean, we have the part before, as I'm jumping around here, where he's like, when they go to the town right after Frieren kind of collapses, where apparently the village chief, who apparently might be 12 years old, I don't really know how old she was, she actually she might be 9, I don't even remember the village chief's like, I don't think they ever give her an age, they just said she's really young. But when they were going over there to wait, she was waiting for Frieren, while her grandmother had been waiting, and apparently her grandmother told her to tell Frieren something when she got there, which is funny. She told her 2 messages apparently, and the little girl remembered every single message. But we go, it's like Frieren's helping the town clear out the monsters. A bunch of wolves that are like apparently walking around nearby, too close to the village.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they can take care of them, but they choose not to. So Frieren shows up and she takes care of that. And we find out apparently there's like a legend about the sword in the rock. And apparently Himmel did not in fact take the sword out of the rock. And that disappointed Stark, because he held on to the legend that Himmel was the hero. Even though Himmel still did prove himself to be a hero by defeating the Demon King with the not hero sword. So it's funny.
Let me know. I have a few fan theories when you're ready for them.
Go ahead. Sorry, I got
sure?
Fern just irritates me. That's gonna be the running theme for me, I guess, this show. Go ahead.
Okay.
I have 4 fan theories.
Number 1, I think eventually we're gonna find out that. I'm sorry. Let me start with an easier one because that's a really big one. I think that, you know how we've been talking about how we don't know who the big bad in this episode is, in this series is?
Sure.
We don't know who the big bad is. It hasn't been established, and we're just not really sure what's going on with that. I think that we've also, in this episode, we found out there's like a demon lord, and not that they're not just all, that it's not just demon kings that we've got to deal with. There's also this random demon lord. And then when she's talking to the demon, she's like, "You're not old enough to be a lord." I think what we're going to start figuring out is that that there's another big bad. Like there's another monstrous demon that is new and is really powerful and poses an equal, or I think probably greater threat than, I would say, I'm going to go on the line and say I think the threat is going to be greater than what we saw already. like significantly greater. And I think that Stark is the one that's fated to draw the sword. And I think that it's because he didn't even try to draw the sword in this episode. I think that they're introducing the sword so that we can be introduced to it, but they were also really careful to have him not try to open it. And I mean, lift it. And I think that the reason that they didn't have him try lifting it is because he would have gotten it if he tried. So my theory is that later in the series, we're going to find out that there's a bigger threat and that they need someone to come, and he is going to have to try to pull the sword, and he's going to be astonished when he does, because he's going to be so sure that he was not worthy, but he's just going to do it because like he needs to, and then he's going to be the one to defeat the Demon Lord.
I would agree with you, but my only real ding against that is the sword is rusted. I can't imagine it being useful to anybody.
I saw that. Is it dirty or is it rusted? I noticed that too.
I feel like it's rusted because I feel like, wasn't it cleaner when Himmel tried to pull it? I swear that they showed us the sword before Himmel tried to pull it. It's been sitting there for a while too, so I don't know why. I don't know, like, I guess the other issue is that at least with Stark's axe, that thing is made out of something. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would stand to reason that sword is made out of something, but I don't know if it's made out of anything. Like, they really talked up that sword like it has some special power, but I can't imagine what power, because they didn't really go into detail or anything about it. It's just a sword that's been stuck in a rock in a cave, and that the only thing special about it is that it's been keeping the demons at bay from entering the cave. Other than a barrier, I don't know what else that sword is capable of. I mean, granted, I'm gonna argue, because I mean, as they were talking about that sword, we definitely did see Stark's background and his older brother back in his village of. Everybody's a horrible person, by the way. His village and how they value warriors, and Stark is how he is now. He's not sure of himself, but his brother sees something in him, obviously, because his brother seems to be the only one that actually cares about him. And we see that Stark has been training as a kid to use a sword based off the way he's holding that stick. It seems like he's training himself to use a sword, so it would make sense. The person training themselves to use a sword would be the one that draws the sword, but it's just like, I can't imagine that sword being useful to him if it is in fact rusted. I don't know if it'd be dirt, because I don't know if dirt would cling to the sword that much, but I'm not gonna argue either way on that one. If I'm being real about it, you know, like maybe it is dirt and he just shakes it loose. I just thought it was rusted. Which is like why I don't think that sword's anything
rusted. It could absolutely be rusted instead. It just doesn't make sense for everybody to be trying so hard to pull a rusted sword. I mean, they'd be just like, it's rusted, and they would leave.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's got to still be desirable for some reason.
Yeah, it's not that. What I'm not saying is that it wasn't always rusted. I think we've seen images of that sword before. I just said that over time, it's like, I don't know if it'd be any use to him. Himmel, on the other hand, when he tried pulling it, wasn't rusted, as far as I was aware. And I could probably pull up an image really quick just to see. Just to see. I know they showed the sword. I want to see. Is that used to protect the hero's sword? This is gonna get me copyright hit, but because that isn't the sword Himmel tried. They showed the sword gleaming in one of like Stark's imagination, and one of his dreams that we saw in his mind that it was shining. And when Himmel tried to pull it, it definitely didn't look rusted, though they're still only really showing us the image from the sword from like closer to the hilt. But But the thing is, you're right. Why would somebody be trying to pull a rusted sword? That's what, like, a part of me is thinking that it rusted for some strange reason, but then that doesn't make any sense either. Why would it? If the sword is magic in nature, which based off the shield it is, I'm just confused. Like, what other? They make it seem like this sword's really freaking powerful, especially when they say it's for the Demon King. But Himmel couldn't pull it, and Himmel still defeated the Demon King. I just had the weirdest, like, just the weirdest, like, crackpot theory. Now go with me on this. So Himmel couldn't pull the sword because he wasn't the chosen one, and Himmel said that he was going to prove everybody wrong by defeating the Demon King without the sword. If the sword is really that important, and the sword has all this lore, what if the Demon King can't be defeated without the sword?
It was defeated.
No, but here's my theory. What if Himmel didn't kill the Demon King? Like, what if what he destroyed was not the Demon King? It was just something. It was just something posing as a Demon King.
It's possible, right?
I mean, I think it's gotta be a theory because, like, as you said before, Frieren walks up to the Demon Lord and says that you're too young to be a Lord. I don't know how she knows this information. That's an interesting little bit of information that we now knows that Frieren can tell when something is supposed to be a Lord. What if, like,
wasn't she just like, I didn't see you when I was 80 years before, and I just assumed, yeah, maybe she. I just kind of thought it was something she picked up from the conversations, but I guess it didn't literally say that, did they?
I mean, she looked at it like she said, like, you are too young to be a Lord. But my thing is, like, okay, she knows this information now. What if she doesn't know what a king's supposed to look like or whatever like that? At least back in the day when she was with Himmel all that time, because, you know, she was isolated from all contact with people of any kind before Himmel found her. I mean, even though she was living in the village, she was living in a village, but she was living like in a hill away from them, and she wasn't really interacting with too many things as far as we can tell. She lived by herself. There's a chance that maybe she doesn't know what a king looks like, and thought they had killed him, only to realize later on maybe they didn't. I mean, that's just a crackpot theory. I'm gonna go on limb that he definitely killed the Demon King. I mean, there's nothing to say that he didn't, because they are experiencing years of peace apparently. After that, and but it's just a theory. Is like, it just came to mind. I was like, what if they didn't? Like, what if whoever they destroyed wasn't the Demon King? It'd be an interesting plot twist for Frieren to find out that all those years ago, Himmel did not defeat the Demon King, and that was just like his last wish to be able to be useful and remembered, only to realize that everything he did was a lie. Only for her to realize. Wait, correction. Let me retract that. Only for her to realize that he didn't do what he wanted to do, or he set out to do, and she was there, and she wishes that she could have. It could be a part of the whole idea of her getting to know Himmel more. Because again, we're seeing more and more information about Himmel through Frieren's eyes. It's just a random thought came up with that theory that you just brought up. But I mean, again, we see this girl in the intro who I don't know anything about. She's got the long ears like the demons do. There's a possibility maybe she's the new threat. I don't know, because you have shown her multiple times in the intro now. I've seen her now. I was like, okay, this girl is in the intro for a reason. She's got the evil grin. She's sitting in a chair. Obviously, she's important. We just haven't seen her yet in the show yet.
You're still really harping on that, huh?
What?
That part of it, that we haven't seen that one character yet. I think you're probably right too.
I mean, every other character in the intro we've seen up to this point. There's even like Stark's brother is in the intro, and I didn't even notice it was him until like this episode. Like in the intro, there's a guy with like reddish hair using a sword, and he looks competent. We only see like a still of him, but he's in the intro, and I was always wondering who the heck was this guy, because he seems very competent. Well, there's no sign of him anywhere in the show up to this point. Then we find out that he's Stark's older brother.
Mm-hmm.
So people in the intro are going to show up in the show. I just don't know when or what their connection to anything is. Because even the elf monk dude's in the intro. I think he shows up like after Stark's brother. Yeah, that's. I mean, I think. Like, what was your question with that? I don't know if I answered it. I hope I did.
What was my question with
that theory you had? I guess. Like, did you have a question, or were you just saying something?
I think that Stark is going to be the new Himmel, and to the point where he draws that sword. I think he's going to have to, part of this his storyline is that he's going to have to accept that he is the legendary hero, when right now he's so convinced it could only possibly be his brother.
I mean, I don't know if he thinks his brother is the hero, is supposed to be the hero, because I think based off everything we've seen in his past,
His brother's the better one.
I mean, yeah, obviously that, but it's like I think he believes he ran from his village and they all died, based on the way he was telling that story.
Yeah, but I think he's convinced that if anybody's the hero, it is his brother and not him.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I'm just saying that I don't know, like, I mean, like, I don't know if he believes his brother's still alive or not.
I think he's convinced his brother's dead, and I think his brother probably is dead.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's got his own things to work out. I don't know if he'll ever be able to. Now with Fern constantly belittling him, sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. Just deep breaths. Deep, calm breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out.
It's just like, everything I don't know. Maybe it will change. I just don't see it changing. It just seems like she cares so little about him. And then this one episode, his birthday comes up and she's like, why do you tell me about his birthday? A part of me is like, that's your fault. You barely talked to him other than calling him a pervert or Mr. Stark. I mean, really, to this episode, it took this episode for me to realize that I don't think Frieren and Stark have had a meaningful conversation at all. They've had like maybe small talk, but she like knows very little about him, and she says this in the episode. But again, it's like, why do you even care? You insult him every chance you get. I don't get, like, a part of me, I think that's like one of my issues is with her before, is like, she's saying things that make sense about, like, she doesn't know him, but like, again, a part of me is thinking, why do you care? You don't seem to care at any other point. Like, why now? Like, why specifically on his birthday? That, to me, that's even more of an insult, because you didn't try to get to know him before his birthday to know information about him on his birthday. He's like, why do you even care at this point? Like, you've shown that you don't care about him. To me, I'm reading too much into every action she's doing, but it's like, there hasn't been like one good interaction between her and Stark that I've liked. Like, I like her as a character, and I like her skill set. I like her relationship with Frieren, but her relationship with Stark is null and void. It doesn't exist. At least in my eyes, it doesn't exist. I know you probably got your own thoughts on it that completely counter mine, but I just like, I just really nothing to me. Her interaction with Stark just been nothing. It's been a huge big pile of nothing. And a birthday episode about him, and then her suddenly like, oh, I should get him something. No, you don't give an F about him. Why do you care? I don't understand.
You really don't think that that's an indication that maybe she does?
No, she goes out of her way to insult him every chance she gets. Nothing.
But you don't think that maybe you think there's a 0% chance that she's coming around?
Right now, no. And that's the angry talking right now. So like, right now, I just like, this episode's done nothing but make me mad at her. Really, this is what it is.
I think he might be.
Episode, as much as wholesome as this episode is, I just like her and everything prior to now. To me, it's like, why do you care? To me, it's an insult to suddenly care on a birthday. and then go back to how you were talking to them before. Like, what? Like, what was the point of that episode? Nothing happened. No change occurred. Like, I'm telling you, she's gonna go back to insulting him like, in next episode. Mark my words. Like, to me, it's like, what was the point of the episode? It was wholesome, yeah, but why? Like, honestly, like, I would have taken the birthday episode more, a lot better, if maybe she didn't. Maybe she said, "Oh, I forgot about his birthday," and then moved on. No, like, she goes out of her way, and every action she's taken up to this point makes me believe she doesn't care about him or she hates him. So her this one action bothers me. Because I'm sitting there like, if you do care about him, why not show that more? Why are you being such a bitch? It just, like, to me, it's like, I really don't like her contradict. Maybe it's part of personality. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is all showing that this is some growth. But I'm either unable to see it or refusing to see it right now.
You're refusing to see it.
Because just, I really don't understand her character. It confuses me, and we're 11 episodes in, and I'm still confused. At least I get Frieren, and I get Stark. I get Himmel, I get Eisen, I get all those other characters. Fern is literally the enigma right now for me, and I don't understand her.
I think she's that wild.
I didn't say she's wild. She's an enigma. I do not understand her. I've tried. Nothing. To me, it's like, from episode 1 to now, like, she's been a mysterious character for me, and I have yet to wrap my brain around her in terms of how, like, type of character she is. She displays zero emotion. She seems to be quippy for the most part, which I find cute. But then when she's interacting with Frieren, it just seems so genuine half the time, and I really root for their, friendship and whatnot, and their master and, apprentice relationship. Like, I actually like that. But when in someone her own age group, this girl literally does nothing but, like, seems to attack him and does nothing to really help. I mean, he even asks, "What did I do this time?" He's asking her the entire episode, "What did I do this time?" Like, he wants to apologize, but she's making absolutely no attempt to help him. It's almost like she wants him to fail, and she's more than happy to let him fail. I don't get her. I really don't. Like, it's like, everything she's done makes absolutely no sense to me. That's basically what I mean. I'm so confused with her. I don't get it. So there is some growth happening. I mean, until I understand her as a character, I probably will never see it. Because I just don't I flat out don't get her. I really don't. This is probably the first character in my entire life watching shows I don't completely understand. And I want to understand her, but...
You mean other than Hermes?
Shut up, you. Like, Hermes is a different thing. I'm more caught up on the fact that he's a bike, and in the entire world, they don't explain anything about him.
Here we go.
That's the only thing.
Strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're stopping there. Because we're going back to Fern. Like, this is my new Hermes, and I don't understand her. I really want to understand it because I like her as a character. But her interactions with Stark are probably the worst in my opinion. In my honest opinion, they're my least favorite. I don't get any point of, pairing her up with him, because all she's gonna do is probably complain or whatever she's been doing to this point. Like, zero attempt to get to know him. Even attempts that she's been trying to get to know him seem to fall very short, because she gets one glimpse of something about him that she don't like and immediately starts just, like, casting off any other possible good, I don't even want to call it flattering, but other, like, parts of his personality that probably could be really great and good to know. She's so mean to him, and I just don't like it. Like, I would buy the whole she's in love with him if she had shown some moments of, like, possibly...
I don't think she's in love with him yet. I think that she's confused by her feelings.
I don't even see feelings or hints of feelings for him. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe you're seeing something deeper than I'm not. I just don't know. It just, think I kind of just ranted the entire episode about like what happened there. But I mean, yeah, the second part of the episode was Stark's birthday, and she spends most of it trying to get him a gift, and she follows him around for a little bit. Well, she starts looking for him, and he's apparently really quick because he's helped at least 3 to 4 people in the village, which is like, good lord, he moves quick for a guy with a giant axe on his back. But she is catching up to him, only for him to, without him noticing that she's behind him, looks at else in the cloud and sees giant pairs of boobs in the sky. And then Fern gets upset by that, and then reveals her presence to him, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see? Never mind." And then she's like, she's trying to figure out what she can get him for his birthday. And at first she was going to be coy about it, but then she says that no, he'd probably too smart to he'd be too smart and catch on. So it's like, you can't backhand insult him and then compliment him in the same sentence. I'm sorry, but she like, and then she offers the bionic birthday gift, and then they go to a couple stores. At first it goes for a gold bracelet, but then she's like, that's too expensive. I'm like, good lord, woman. But and like, apparently he gets like one of those silver bracelets. I don't know what that does. I guess we'll find out later on if there's any magic property attributed to that bracelet she bought him. But and apparently early on in the episode too, Frieren brings up the birthday, and then Fern is upset that she didn't know. Like I think I ranted enough about it. I was going on another rant about it. I had to stop that there. Fern's upset, and then Frieren brings up she got a gift for him, and apparently it's dissolving fluid. And this is before Fern sees him dreaming about boobs in the air. She thinks that he wouldn't want anything like that. Apparently Frieren says that her master told her that men like gifts like that. I wonder if her master was ever in a relationship, but that's a different statement to make later on. We ever see more about Flamme, but Fern gets upset, dumps the fluid onto her, dissolves her dress, and then Frieren's like, "Oh, that was expensive too." And you know, we see Fern like get several minutes later. We see her like seeing Stark in the distance, resting for a little bit. Buys that gift. Frieren's trying to figure out what to get him next, and apparently she makes these giant hamburger steaks, these very big hamburger steaks for his birthday. And apparently we learned that from Stark. Not only did his family not celebrate birthdays in his house, Eisen didn't exactly celebrate either, but other than giving him like these giant hamburger helpings, for doing good work and whatnot. And as Stark is about to eat it, he has a flashback to his village and his brother, and we get a chance to see what happens. And the village burns down because of a demon king, or demon. And it's not demon king, but because of a demon that got in. Which I'm noticing a theme here. A lot of demons destroying places. A lot of places around here, in this world. It's actually kind of interesting. So I'm guessing this must have been well after. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, and this did just come to mind. So like, Himmel and the gang defeated the Demon King some time ago, and I'm assuming that they did this before the demon we see in Stark's hometown. But I'm not confident about that. Well, what do you think? Is it possible that demon's unrelated?
The demon in his Stark's town?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd make a lot of sense if
because really, when I'm trying to like parse my
brain, it'd make a lot of sense if it was, because the demon would have to be strong enough to beat his brother.
I guess that makes
who seemed like
sense.
His brother was like pretty strong.
But then my question is, and this is like what I was thinking about at the time. I'm like, so here's the thing: the story that Himmel drew the sword had to have happened after the fabled drawing of the sword, like, and it had to have happened sometime prior to like Stark being born, for Stark to even hear the tale, for it to reach wherever his town was, right? Like, This is a fable that would have been passed down to everybody after it happened. So my thought process is that this had to have happened. He must have heard about it, and the demon must have attacked his village like well after the supposed slaying of the Demon King. At least in my brain, like I feel like that's what had to make sense, chronologically speaking. Unless some of the attacks happened in mist in lieu of them traveling to defeat him, the demon that they were going after, the king demon, as it were. I don't know. Like, I guess my question is, like, I don't know when this demon attacked Stark's village. Because if the demon is related to the Demon King, then it's like, okay, that must have been one of the Demon King's like lords or whatever, that, you know, whatever he calls them, like Aura. But like, as far as I know, Aura's the only one that got away. They never did confirm if anybody else got away. So whoever that demon is, part of me is like wondering, is this demon attack related to anything the Demon King authorized, or is this an entirely different demon that's got his own power and his own his own zone that he controls and his own disciples?
I think that's really a really insightful possibility that this demon is the same one that killed his brother, because that would set up for Stark being the hero. It'd be very compatible with my theory. I think there's a lot of possibilities baked into that.
Because right now I'm just trying to figure out when the demon attack happened, because they don't really say if it was after everything. It's like Stark is 18, and like the adventures with Frieren happened like 80 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this demon attack would have had to happen after the fact. But then again, like I think Fern's a town got attacked by demons too, right?
Fern?
Yeah, where Fern grew up, like the town that she was living in before.
Oh, that's right. She's an orphan of some sort, isn't she?
Huh?
She's some sort of orphan, isn't she?
Yeah, she's an orphan. Her parents were like we saw her parents in the home that she used to live in. It was a very short animation, but like we've seen her with her mom and dad, and she was an orphan, and she was going to kill herself until Hyder stopped her. But I think that her home was destroyed by the demons. I don't think they ever state what happened to it, but I think her home was destroyed by demons. So here's like my thing is like,
yeah, they never get into it, but it makes perfect sense what you're saying. It'd be amazing if it was if the plot twist comes up and it's both of theirs, right?
I mean, yeah, but like my whole theory of like maybe the Demon King wasn't really the thing that they killed. There's also the other thing too. Maybe it is the Demon King, but maybe the demon they just did slay him, but because it wasn't the sword, he didn't stay dead. They could have also baked that in there too, where like Demon King needs to be destroyed by the sword. Because in RPGs, sometimes they do that whole thing where you need to kill the thing, the big evil, with the big good weapon of duality and whatnot, whatever they call it.
It just feels a little tiresome if that's the case, though. I don't know. It could be the case. I sort of hope it's not. That sounds tiresome.
I mean, why make a big deal about some master sword? For them, that was not my intent. But we're gonna go with it. But with some master sword that it's in the thing, to me, like I feel like if there is a legend around a weapon that's destined to kill the evil, like even if you can kill the evil, like what's to say this evil is gonna stay dead? It's kind of like with Ganondorf, as I'm gonna make the Master Sword reference. Like Ganon can never really truly be dealt with until you have the Master Sword. And depending on the timeline you're dealing with, he's either still alive or he's dead. We're not getting into that. But basically every time Link goes up against him, he has the Master Sword. He always seems to have it. He needs it. He's evil's bane. So to me, I mean, as tiresome as you say that sounds, is like, to me, I feel like that might be the direction they would go. But I guess at the same time, I'm not married to the idea. honestly, like, I mean, if they do go another way, I'm just like, for me, I just don't know if like, if there really could be, but the way that Frieren kind of talked about that lord that wasn't a lord, even if it was a case of it was another demon, I'd be surprised if like 80 years was enough time for this demon, whoever he or she is to rise up the ranks quickly enough for Frieren to not hear about it, or catch wind of it. I mean, I'm not saying that like Frieren's all knowing. I'm pretty sure she's not, but I feel like it'd be really weird if like nobody even brought up that there was a demon out there that seems to have risen, you know, high up in the ranks and is now the leader of everything, and nobody gave that information to Frieren.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she would like willingly ask for it. I'm just saying that
who's going to tell her?
These humans.
Who would even tell her?
Maybe some human that like that's aware of it. You know, that really idolizes Frieren. Maybe they just let it slip out. Maybe they weren't intending to tell her, but it just
kind of like it's kind of like she doesn't really keep track of these things, though.
I'm not saying that Frieren is all knowing. I'm just saying that to me, it's like, even if she isn't the one keeping track of day-to-day events, I feel like at some point somebody would have let it slip that there is something out there. And even that, let's just get away from somebody telling Frieren. If this demon is out here, right? This really powerful, all evil entity, why wouldn't they try to make their presence known to Frieren, the person that's responsible for killing their prior lord? To me, I feel like the demon would definitely, because they're all ego, right?
How would they even how would someone that was looking for her even find her? She just like jacked up in this tiny little town.
Use like if they know, and I'm pretty sure they do know, the demons do know of the towns she's been through, because I mean the last 4 that we see Aura, they knew about the town that Frieren passed through 80 years ago. And I think the information of each town that the heroes went through is like chronologue somewhere. I'm almost certain, because everybody seems to know where the heck this group went, weirdly enough.
It seems like someone would have to go through a lot of trouble to find her.
I
think she made no effort. I think she made no effort whatsoever to be findable. Oh, Demon might, but if she's not being a threat, demons seem demons seem a little short-sighted, and they're chronically overconfident.
That's what I'm saying. So the Demon King,
they could have easily concluded, oh, she went into hiding. You know what I mean? Because they're super overconfident.
I guess, but I think my thing is, I think that whatever this demon is, that if this so-called like new threat, you know, is out there, I'm not even saying that Frieren would have to be made aware of it or anything like that, because I know she wouldn't. Again, I know her character is shown as being very lazy and very not even lethargic, just like apathetic. She doesn't really care much about anything that isn't already in front of her. I understand.
Maybe complacent is a good word for it.
I guess she's very complacent. She doesn't really care much about anything that's not in front of her. But the demon, I feel the demon would try to make his or her presence known. Like, even if it is just like random, indiscriminate torching of a village, I feel like eventually Frieren will come across that. Just saying. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying I find it really weird that if there is this really new big threat that's even stronger than the time, I don't know if 80 years is enough time for a demon to ascend to that level. Like,
I hear you, but like let me throw something out here. This village that she's in right now, she knew that it was besotten by demons, right? She knew that demons were attacking it a lot.
I mean, yeah.
And she let 80 years or 50 years go by before she even started. She's like, oh yeah, I did promise to do this thing that's going to take me a single day. And then she did it. But she was getting a relayed message from a dead character from her past through her granddaughter because the granddaughter, the lady was like, I know that she's about when she shows up, because she will show up. You know what I mean? I want to get after her for it. Frieren like doesn't understand what it means. She's a hero, but she doesn't really understand what it means to be a hero. She was kind of pulled complacently through the process of being a hero.
That wasn't my qualm. I was just saying that I'm talking about the demons specifically in terms of like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm just saying I'm just talking about. I don't know if 80 years is enough time for a demon to ascend to the ranks. Based off of what she said about that lord that wasn't a lord, it doesn't sound like enough time had passed. So my thing is like, why, if that's the case, then whatever this thing you're claiming is stronger than the prior Demon King shouldn't exist, right? Like, if there's not enough time had passed, and it was 80 years since the last time she went to that village, and they thought they had a lord on their hindsight, but in reality it wasn't, which is the monster was really strong, and it's had to be able to control the little mini beast around him. Using that as a threshold, at least in my, I'm going to use that as a threshold. Like, I feel like if we're looking for a lord or even a king or whatever we're dealing with, whatever the next big threat is, I don't think enough time has passed for that threat to become whatever that threat is that would need the hero sword to deal with it. And this is my opinion. There hasn't been enough time, I don't think. Unless, now here's the thing, I will throw this into here. We definitely know Frieren has no concept of time. So maybe she thinks that that thing ain't a freaking lord, but in reality it is. Who knows? Like, you know, maybe she doesn't understand time. I mean, we know she doesn't understand time, but maybe what she's saying is wrong. And maybe they are, like, maybe she's saying what she's saying is right, and maybe there is some. I mean, time has passed, so maybe, like, I mean, humans were able to dissect the demon magic, so maybe there's something that the demons did that Aura wasn't aware of that allowed them to speed up their progression to get stronger. Who knows? But I'm just saying, based off of what she said about that monster, how is it there was going to be that much of a stronger enemy out there with only 80 years passing? Like, the only way that could happen, if we're going to use the time thing, is that maybe there was an extra monster or whatever, like that demon with the Demon King that got away, and that demon, you know, pretty much cursed Frieren all that time ago, 80 plus, and decided to use that time to get stronger. It's possible, but they don't ever bring up of like a smaller little demon that was just kind of like annoying or whatever like that nearby. Now, granted, I also will caveat that with there's no guarantee that they would have seen it if it got away. So I understand there's holes in what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that, to me, if she's saying that 80 years isn't enough time to become a lord, then there is no way whatever the next level of strength for demons is out there right now. But there's absolutely no way. The only real way is that maybe Frieren doesn't understand time all that much, like we already know she doesn't. Or maybe they discovered some new artificial, like, hyperbolic time chamber nonsense that allows them to get stronger really quickly. And there's a chance that they discovered that. Who knows? I mean, we know demons like to, you know, they worship magic, basically. So, I mean, like, they spend all their time in it. So, like, you know, maybe they discovered something in all that time, and one little demon managed to, you know, power up to, like, the next level really quickly. Because I just don't think there's enough time, based on 80 years, for that demon to exist. You know, the next, like, big threat that's stronger than the king that they killed. That's like my thought on the whole. Maybe they didn't kill the Demon King. Maybe he resurrected himself. Might be a lot better, because then we could make the argument 80 years would have allowed him to get stronger. So that way he's had the same threat. And then they can still use the sword on him.
I did wonder about that. Is there a correlation between the age of a demon and how powerful it is? I mean, I guess they would have to like train and grow that way. But
I mean,
what did you think about it?
I'm assuming there is, because I mean, she says like you're too young to be a lord, that monster. So I would think that if the demons might share the same class, I would think of like strength, like wouldn't they?
It would make sense, right?
They're only if they're the same, if they're like a monster anyway. I'm just saying, like if there's a way around what I'm saying is just like Frieren doesn't understand age or time, because we know she doesn't, and they stated that many episodes ago, so they could easily it wouldn't be a plot. I mean, it wouldn't be a crap. What's the word I'm looking for? It would be a retcon, because we already know that she doesn't understand time. It's possible she doesn't understand time for demons either. But I'm saying, based on what she said about the monster, I'm like, well, I'm gonna base my information off of that then, of like, maybe there can't be another strong demon out there, at least on the level of the king, or even on the level of Aura, because Aura went into hiding before she got that strength that she had, that she was like showcasing to Frieren. So I don't know, like, this to me is like, this got they like, if they're gonna go that route, there's a new monster, they're gonna have to clarify if they get stronger through time or not, and if the strengthening that they do go after, because I think they even said that, you know, to strengthen your magic, it's like through time. You don't exactly train it, you just kind of live with it and use it, and it gets stronger as you get older. I think that's what he said about magic. But if we were to use the same time mechanic with the demon, like, I just don't think there's enough time had passed. I don't think 80 years is enough. I think that's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't think 80 years is enough for another huge threat to pop up. Maybe another 20 years, possibly, but like, I don't think 80 years would have been enough.
We've seen that like it's not impossible for like a demon to like hop in and out of existence, for example.
I mean, they would have to explain how the heck the demon reached that level of power. I mean, it wouldn't have to be a good explanation. I'm just saying, like, to me, it's like, with the way they're talking about time and whatnot, I just don't know. Like, there would have to be an actually good reason. And maybe, I mean, if Aura got away, there's always a chance that something else got away, but I don't know. To me, it's like she seems way too thorough, and we saw that she kills those guys too. She doesn't straight up let them go. Aura is just the only one that got away for some really unknown reason. We still don't understand how or why Aura was the one that got away. It's like, I don't know, like, if 80 years is enough time for a monster to transition to lorddom, I find it really hard for a demon to transition to kingdom, or whatever level that demon king was at, to transition to that level and then beyond it. This is in Dragon Ball Z, like, where's the hyperbolic time chamber that could explain everything away. Now they could try some magic hyperbolic BS, but I don't know if they would. They could. I just don't know if they would. Because not everybody will like that explanation of how a demon got that strong.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, the only good way that I can see is that, okay, they went to the Demon King Kingdom Sanctum, and they were fighting everything around there, and there was this one little demon or whatever like that just didn't seem like a threat, and they let them alone, and that hurt his or her pride. They ran off, and they ran off for some reason, maybe to get something to help the fight, only for them to turn around and see their king get destroyed, and then they vowed for the rest of their life to get stronger and get back at them. Like, it's possible that maybe that's the route they go. Because if I were to go, and I'm going to stretch my belief here, that maybe not all demons are the same, and some of them can feel, then a demon wanting revenge wouldn't be the most outlandish thing ever. Considering Aura wanted revenge too, so for different reasons, but she wanted revenge. It's possible if that's the route they go.
I know, Aura was just kind of. I felt like Aura was just kind of demoning, but
but like, wow, so your idea isn't impossible. I just like it's the demon part that needs to be worked out because like I don't understand. Now, granted, as a you already know, I'm hooked on that one character we don't know anything about. Maybe she's the demon and her backstory is like that. Maybe she got away. Maybe she's some daughter or something like that of the Demon King, and we don't know that yet. And she got away, and because she is the daughter of the Demon King, maybe it's her heritage that boosted her power. That because she's related to Demon King, she got a power boost through through hereditary means versus training, and maybe she discovered that they can get stronger just by who their parents were or whatever like that, or some like really convoluted that makes sense way. Like it is possible that they could pull a demon out of their butt that is actually that strong and stronger. I don't know. I just like I'm finding it hard. I'm trying to get past the. It's way stronger now. If it was as strong as the Demon King, maybe. But it being stronger is like that's a stretch. How about what was your other fan theory that you had?
Demons and elves came from the same thing. Either elves are a subset of demons, or demons were created from, or like a subset of elves.
Oof, that's a can of worms I don't know if I want to open, but I guess I am going to open it. I guess, I mean, they don't look that much different. And I guess also with some of their characteristics being shared through Frieren, but I guess my question, I guess I shouldn't say issue, but my question is like, if say that is true, the demons are just corrupted elves. Why would the Demon King orchestrate a mass genocide?
Why would it do it? Because they're evil elves. Because they're evil. Maybe there was a war between the demons and the elves.
I guess it could be that simple, but it's like I feel like my thing is like I don't think elves are like, you know, all caught up in. I mean, we don't. Again, I don't know this because we don't know what the society of elves was like. We only know what they look like when they're dead. But and Flame doesn't seem to hate the elves as much as he hates the demons. Though, well, I had another crackpot theory, and this doesn't exactly change much about your theory, but changes maybe a little something fundamental. So Flame says, and this is her exact words, that she encountered them, she called them demons, meaning that they didn't have a name when they weren't named demons when she first encountered them. If your theory is correct that the demons were just elves, what's to say that maybe there is no conversion, and they aren't really demons, they are actually just elves that just went the way of the dark side? What if they are just still elves and they just got a different name because Flame decided to call them something else because she didn't want to call them an elf, because she didn't believe that, you know, that's what elves acted like. I agree that this is a very flimsy crackpot theory, not as strong as the last one I had. But, I guess my thought is like somehow along the way, maybe Flame did something. Maybe she betrayed an elf, and maybe that's what the elf just did as a result, and she just called them a demon. Sometimes people do call people demons when they do very evil things. That doesn't mean that they have horns and they're all evil. It's just like their actions were that that evil that the person just said you are a demon. Maybe Flamme took that too literal and decided to call them that. But again, also my theory with that is like, okay, how in the world would that have lasted as long as it did, calling them demons? If it is 100% true that demons and elves are literally the same thing. Which I guess makes your idea a little more make sense. Maybe they're just some random subset of elves, but they don't really look all that different other than the horns, so that'd be interesting. Oh yeah, there's the horn thing too, so maybe my idea doesn't make any sense. Never mind, I retract everything I just said.
Because demons have horns?
Yeah. I forgot about the horn thing. I was like, demons freaking have horns, elves do not. It's like, yeah, I guess they could just be a subset of... I mean, there are things called horned elves too, so maybe that's what they really are, but, they look different, so they're called demons.
I think that, like... See, I'm thinking about Terry Brooks. Spoiler alert for a whole bunch of Terry Brooks books. Are you ever going to read Terry Brooks's fantasy novels?
No.
Before I spoil it for you?
I mean, go right ahead. I don't know who Terry Brooks is. I'm looking at it right now.
He wrote like the Elf Queen of Shannara and the Sword of Shannara and stuff like that.
Are elves and demons the same thing in those books?
No. Well, yes and no. The elves created demons. The ones that are elves created demons, but the elves and demons were also two different fairy races from the same time that have been in war throughout all of history. And the elves created something called Shadow-En, which were basically demons. And then the elves also demons Shadow-En. There's also this sort of Lord of the Rings aspect to it where, like, if you use magic irresponsibly, you could become basically a demon yourself. And you have to be a little careful. Did you die?
Yeah, I fell through a black hole. I came back. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's not as bad when you go down at me after the first time. So are you insinuating that something, either the elves did something or something happened to the elves and turned a subset of them into demons, and then they were at war for centuries before now, and essentially that war led to the demons trying to decimate them?
Either, well, there was the demons from Fairy Time, and the demons from Fairy Time were just their natural enemies. And then there was the demons from the demons they created through magical experimentation and pushing things a little farther than they should have. And then there was the demons that they became when they misused their magic. So there were like 3 different types, and they all lived in the same universe. And it may be that there's more than one way to be a demon. I'm very curious what the rules are for it, like why you can be a demon wolf sometimes, or sometimes you can be like a different type of demon than that.
I didn't really say that. I didn't really consider that wolf a demon. It's because I think they called it a monster. Did they actually call it a demon?
They called it. Hang on, I can look it up because I actually have it. The Demon Lord. They called it a Demon Lord, which was what made me wonder. Like when the Demon King died, is there not just another Demon King?
I mean, story and fantasy wise, and looking at it from a JRPG perspective, technically, depending on what the creator probably wants, it could be possible that they just have another demon lord usurp the position, but they don't typically do that unless they're writing a very long story. And even then, they don't really have the original Demon King killed that by the end of the first book. Unless, I don't know much about how, like, people like J.R.R. Martin and those people, or Terry Brooks, write their stories, stuff like that. So I don't know what rules that I know they have their own subset of rules for their worlds, so none of them overlap with each other. For this one, I don't know. I mean, it would make sense if there maybe wasn't one, but the thing is, like, if that is true, wouldn't Himmel and the gang want to completely eliminate every single aspect of a Demon King possibly coming back? Because the way that at least the first episode kind of played out, at least in my mind, it sounded like when Himmel was retiring, it sounded like he thought he had stopped the Demon King just in general for a pretty long time. Like he was certain that they were probably going to see another one in his lifetime. Granted, if that is not true, he was still kind of right because he's dead now, but we're not gonna get into that. But I don't know. Like, I mean, in theory, yeah. I just don't know if that's true because, again, they don't really make mention. And I guess they don't really have to make mention of another just odd fellow hanging around the castle. But another thing too is that castle's still up, or wherever. I'm not even gonna say, because the place where the Demon King was residing, what is it still up? Is it still like functioning as a stronghold, or did they destroy that too? Because like they do
I mean, how do you just destroy a castle?
Frieren?
Maybe, I don't know. That's destroying a whole castle. Given that how long it took her to clean up that shoreline, destroying a whole castle seems like it might be quite a big feat.
You
for
say
her.
that, but she says that before like now, she like in even Aura, cooperated this too. She used to fight flashy, and that typically means she was using all kinds of spells that just didn't care about the things around her. I suspect she could have knocked off a few poles and the thing just fell down on itself. They didn't say that they came out without scars or anything like that, or without damage to themselves. I figured he could heal himself with magic anyway, so any roll damage she took could have easily been like magicked off of her. I just like, just to me, I thought maybe with the way they were talking and how they, it sounded like they were 100% certain that there was not going to be another Demon King for a long time. Like, to me, it's like, if that was the case, that means I think they must have looked around to see if there was anybody else who wanted to take the throne and got rid of them before they had the chance. At least that's what I would think. Because again, I don't think Frieren, she may be, what's the word he gave me? Complacent. But I think when she's got something to do and that she's focusing on, she can be as thorough as the most ADHD person in the entire world. I feel like she would have killed anybody else that would have wanted to take the throne. Now, I say that also to contradict myself. Also, the fact that it's possible that maybe after they left, again, this really hinges on somebody was left behind, because like it is 100% possible that maybe they left somebody behind, because again, We do not know how Aura got away. As you so, pointedly put it, the image that we saw of Aura being ganged up on, she should be dead. But she ain't. So it is a very curious situation of how the heck Aura got away. So if Aura can get away from that,
Frieren was like a little child at that time, though.
they still ganged up on her and tried to kill her. I don't think her being a child would have meant anything. Because even at that time, Frieren still had the indiscriminate nature of killing demons. She killed the demon child too. Don't forget that. I don't think Aura being a child would have done anything at all for Frieren. And I think Himmel would have not been swayed either. It is still quite curious how she got away, but whatever. So I guess it's possible that maybe somebody survived. But again, I still have the question of like, how do they rebuild without there really being much commotion about a rebuilding effort happening? In the north area where the demons were residing. To me, it's like even without Frieren knowing, somebody would have noticed something, because there would have been movement among the demons anyway, of a rebuilding effort. Like, why is there a rebuilding effort? And on top of that, why were demon envoys sent to the town they were just in to make peace? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Especially when all they were trying to do was gain access to their town, get the barrier down, and kill them all. Overall, their goal was to eat humans, but it just seems kind of weird. It's like I wonder where they get the envoy idea from. That doesn't seem like something that would just pop up in their brain. None of the demons seemed all that smart, except for maybe the dude with eyes closed. I forgot his name. The dude with the really big horns. I forgot his name. The guy that was afraid of Frieren. But like even he wasn't all that smart or that intelligent. But they're just being like I'm finding it difficult to really believe. Like right now, like the candidate that I have for what you're saying of a new, huge, or bigger bad is that girl in the intro. But again, still don't know if she's a demon or not. She's got
She could be the demon. You've been talking about how whatever demon we find is going to be young. Like it would stand to reason that if she's going to be young, like and not old enough to be a real demon lord, it would be a young demon.
I guess I don't know really if she's a demon or not. That's the other thing. I'm really only concentrating on her because she is in the intro, but I don't really get much about her from it. I need to go and see the intro again really quick because I need to know if she actually has horns in that or not. If she does have horns, I just didn't notice it. Then obviously she's a demon, but she don't flag me, don't flag me now, don't do it.
Don't flag me now. Having a good time.
That was gonna happen.
Not getting flagged. Don't flag me now. What?
Sorry, no. You just how fast you got into that.
Give it a call. Don't flag me now. Don't flag me now. We're having a good time. Not gonna flag at all. Yeah.
It's flagging at the. Never mind. Don't answer that question. I didn't ask.
The flag is gonna roll, explode, burning through the sky. Yeah, hundreds of flags, but it's not gonna happen at all. The alternate visuals, the star. Not gonna flag you.
Intro. I didn't
don't flag him. Don't flag him. Don't flag him. Yeah. Don't flag him. Don't flag him. Yeah. 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 Don't flag him. Don't flag him. Have a good time. Good time.
Huh. I guess your idea of that sword being drawn is correct.
What?
I guess your idea of that sword being drawn is correct. In the intro, they actually show you the hero sword and with two hands. Whoever's grabbing it isn't being shown. that there's two hands grabbing on it as they're about to lift the sword. So somebody's gonna grab it, and I'm guessing it's going to be our boy Stark. I'm analyzing this intro because I've already been doing it several episodes into now. There's the monk. There's the guy. This is Stark's brother right here. What the hell was that? There's a tree just now. And somebody's sitting underneath it. What the heck was that? Yeah, this is getting flagged for sure. It's too late now. There is somebody underneath a tree. It looks like they have a sword. That could be Eisen. And then there's somebody in front of a statue that I don't know who that is, but it's got a giant sword too. Maybe we're gonna get more story about Fern, I'm guessing. This girl right here. She's got the long ears. Well, she doesn't have horns. She looks like she could be like the same age as like Frieren. They kind of look like they could be the same height. She's like in a chair. I'm not seeing what will look like the horns on her. She's got the same look as an elf though. I mean, maybe this could prove your theory to be right. Maybe she's going to maybe the next bad is an elf, but maybe that elf becomes a demon. I don't know. There is no horns in that girl, but that's another thing too. Is like I guess maybe it'd be the weirdest thing ever they decided to pull, but maybe not all demons have horns. Not all horns make a demon. But so far, we only ever seen demons with horns, so for them to pull that out of their stocking, it would be really weird. So we're at literally 11, almost 11:30. Do you have any notes?
I have notes.
Okay.
You want me to get started on my notes, huh?
Yeah, maybe we should get started on your notes. I spent most of the podcast ranting. That was funny for some, but probably not funny for all.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I don't have a ton of notes. At 2:20, I know this isn't anime at all, but Fern is really physically fit to carry Frieren in the snow after they've all already walked so far that Frieren has fainted herself. What did you think about that? It seemed a little much.
Fern's carried Frieren before.
I know, but like at this point, they've already walked in the snow for so long that that Frieren just flat out fainted. Do you know what I mean? And Fern isn't a fighter. She's, Fern's a wizard. So it seemed a little heavy-handed that that she could carry like a whole person for that long.
I think it's just mostly just her wanting to carry Frieren and not giving her to Stark. Because I mean, very moments when Stark is trying to getting past the grabby hands, every time that Stark tries to make an offer to carry Frieren, Fern pouts and just moves on. I don't understand why she's pouting, but Fern does in fact pout whenever asked anybody wants to carry Frieren. So I don't know. It's probably just possible that she can and she wants to. It could be also just be, this is my master, you don't get to touch her. I don't know. It just seems really weird. She's done that multiple times now. Where like when it comes to Frieren, she just pouts. I don't get it.
Interesting to see how Heider, Himmel, and Eisen all chatted and bantered while Frieren kind of like watched it like so that she was some kind of alien. Just another point to me where like it makes me think about the similarities that I've sort of been seeing all the way through between demons and people. Do you know what I mean? If you see Frieren just watching them, like, okay, this is what humans do, and like she's almost scientific about how she's like keeping track of it. I liked at 320 the subversion of the Sword in the Stone storyline, that the sword didn't make the hero. Like Himmel just was like, well, you don't have to tell me I'm a hero. I'm going to be a hero anyway. I thought that was kind of fun. But I already told you how I want him to come across the sword later. And either like he's... One other thing I'd like to see is I'd like to see him come across Himmel's sword, like in like another episode, a couple episodes from now, like not the next episode, but like in a few episodes from now, he just comes across Himmel's sword and how everybody's touting it as the hero's sword. Do you know what I mean? And giving the same sort of... Okay, what?
No, I thought Himmel was buried with it, wasn't he?
I mean, yeah, sure, he could have been. I'm not positive, but like, I think it would have been fun to have a moment where like, I think it'd be fun to have a moment where he came across it for some reason. But I guess you're right. If he was buried with it, I don't remember. Wasn't paying attention at that point to see whether he was buried with it or not, but it would have been fun to like know that he was buried with it. I mean, to know that like he came across it and they were like, hey, yeah, this is like just as good. Do you know what I mean? Like as the other sword, like everybody's treating it the exact same way. I think that'd be a fun little point to show that like, you know, oh look, Himmel really made it, you know.
He can still come across it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I mean, no, quick note. He can still come across it. I think, like, wasn't the sword the story that, you know, like somebody just gave him that fake sword? It was like a replica, so it wasn't real. So I guess he can still come across the fake sword, because someone else could just make a replica.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing. Just one last thing. I'll shut up. Yes, Himmel was buried with his replica fake sword.
Oh, okay. Well, if he hadn't been, that would have been fun. At 440, when she's carrying Frieren, I was just like, oh, Frieren's so snuggy. 526, the little girl that leads them into town reminds me of the last episode of OG Kino's Journey with a character named Lily. There was really close similarities there between that character and this Lily. Like, I just thought it was really interesting to see, because that Lily is very, like, in the last episode of Kino's Journey, like, she's really in your face and she's like, hi, I'm Lily, I'll show you around. And she does a lot of things like that, and it's just sort of equally it's like the same person. It's like the same person, except in the other episode, like she's like a tour guide, and in this one she's the mayor, I guess, but like if you really think about it, she's sort of a tour guide like character, you know what I mean? She's still showing them around and showing the ropes and stuff like that, and there's sort of that feeling there, you know what I mean? So anyway, it just felt it felt like this. It felt like an inspired character, like a character that may or may not have been inspired by that. I wish I could show you. Hang on. The last episode of the original Kino's Journey. Because I believe it's the last one where they do it. A kind land tomorrow never comes. So let me see if I can get... Trying to see real quick if I can just find a... Really, I should just go to Yandex. You'll never find anything like this on Google. Yeah, see, Google's filtering out things you're not supposed to see now a lot more than they used to.
Oh, the DMCA things? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, they're really like, the MCA takedown hits them really hard, and it doesn't hit the other Kino's journeys very well. Sorry, our data center has been burned. Sad face. We're no longer able to provide the hosting service. Whoopsies. Sorry, guys. Server 2. Their data center's been burned. That's sad for them. I'm not going to try a lot longer. I'm sure it's out there, but I'm not going to try a lot longer because I don't want to waste time on the podcast. But it was a very, very... the problem is I keep finding the episode. I keep finding Kino's Journey, but I keep finding the new Kino's Journey, and it's polluting because it's so much more in demand. It's polluting the what I'm trying to find here. Ooh, I think I found it. Yeah, this is it. I'll send you the link to it. You can get a gist of the characters' facial expressions and stuff. I'll try to find a... It's one of those ones that punishes you for clicking on it if you click on it too much. So it'll be hard for me to jump around a little bit, but...
There's no public record or interview indicating the author of Kino's Journey, Kechi Sawa, and the author of Frieren, Kanehito Yamada, know each other. The two are simply famous creators whose works share similar thematic vibes.
Really?
It's just a coincidence.
It's something about... I see. I'm having a tough time jumping to the spot because these services are shitty. I found a better link. I'm going to give you the better link.
Both stories are episodic fantasy and adventure journeys where a magical or detached protagonist travels through the distinct, unique towns, observing the world and people. Shared praise. When Frieren became a hit, reviewers frequently recommended Kino's Journey to fans who wanted more of that wandering, philosophical, and melancholic atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you so you can stop trying to send me links to Kino's Journey.
All right, fine. It's the visual, though. The character's a little, like, redheaded character. And,
It's pink, but okay.
And she's, like, a little bit... I know, she's a little, like... You know, that kind of almost similar color hair, and in a way. And, like...
You can't be serious.
What?
You gotta be shitting me. What?
What?
Sorry, no,
what?
It's just that apparently I've watched stuff, I watched a story from this creator, Kino's Journey before I even knew about Kino's Journey. They made a show called Sword Art Online. To be more specific, there are people who know what that is. Jogga probably does not. Sword Art Online, I didn't know it was made by the same person, but Sword Art Online is another show that takes the character Kirito, who he's kind of bored of life, but he jumps into a VR world and he ends up having adventures with other people, and he kind of travels through this VR world. And at first, he gets stuck in there. And he meets other people who get stuck in there too. It's kind of like episodic, but I wasn't aware that there was a connection between those two animes. Of like the creator made it, so there might be more stuff about Kino's journey reflected in there. Who the heck knows? Now I'm actually thinking about it. Wait a minute. Now that that's freaking like been like revealed to my face now, and I can't unsee it. They're not similar. They're not really that similar looking, but I could almost see a vibe that maybe Kino might have been. Kino might have actually had an effect on the design of this character. Hold up.
Don't forget too that the character is a young character that is sort of in charge of the episode and shows them around and shows them the ropes, and you know, the main characters depend on this character to kind of figure out what's going on, you know. They come in for just a few days to visit.
I don't know if he ever spends like a few days in a town, but it's just an image of this guy, the main character, FSA. There's not that much of a similarity between Kirito and Kino, but there's kind of a similarity to them in their face. So he's a boy and she's not, but all right. Well, I watched.
Who's a boy? Who's a boy?
Kirito, the guy I linked you in the image in Discord.
Okay. I don't have a link.
I didn't link. I mean, I showed you a picture in the.
I don't have a picture.
In what we're having our voice chat. There's a. I sent you.
I see it now. Okay, sorry. Okay.
I couldn't find the words. There's somewhat of a similarity, not much of one, but someone I can. It looks like it's possible that maybe Kino had some sway on the design of Kirito. Yeah, I watched that show some time ago, like well before I even knew you, and before I even knew about Kino's journey. So I never made a connection, but I watched this show before. But I did not know that the creator of Kino had worked on that. I'm very shocked by that information. Back on the Frieren, you're talking. I get what you mean. There's I know who you're talking about, but you know how I am with trying to compare two shows. Kind of allergic. But I believe you. I mean, according to that freaking Google search, apparently they share similarities. So like, maybe it's possible that maybe they saw an episode or two. The Frieren author, I mean. And now you start to think about that. Yeah, that little girl, I guess she's more of a mayor though. She's not really a tourist. I mean, and most mayors show you around their town if it's small enough, and they're the only one that can.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very similar. Like that character, like I said, the innkeeper character, like acted mayor-like in that episode, so it wasn't completely outrageous to think about it. You know,
she wasn't acting mayor-like. She was the mayor.
Who?
That little girl was the mayor.
I was talking about Kino's journey.
Oh, my bad. Shut up.
That's okay. No, but like what she was like the mayor in that episode, and this is the mayor. You know what I mean? And there seem to be a lot of lines to draw. Okay, let me because now we're going a little too slow. This town, I wanted to know how long the story was suggesting this town had been around for. So I asked ChatGPT, I was like, hey, like, for her to be the 49th leader of this town, how, like, many generations in would they need to be? You know, like, how many years would it take probably to get that many generations in? And ChatGPT said that would be between 1,200 and 1,440 years that it would take for them to for that to be that old, for them to be that old. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I mean, Frieren's been around for a minimum of 1,000 years.
Yeah, this is like one of the few things that's been around longer than Frieren, though. That's one of my points. Like, we're assuming she's about 1,000 years old, and this has been around for 1,200 to 1440. So we've found something in the show that's older than Frieren.
I thought the monk dude was older than Frieren. The monk guy calls her young. Sorry, I'm not trying to undermine you. I'm just saying that, like, I think they're like, at least as far as that monk dude, I thought he might have been older than her. With the way he talked about her.
Yeah, he was older than her, but it was just one of the few things. Like, this little humble town was actually like a little bit older than Frieren, probably from based on the information we know. Frieren could be 3,000 years old. We don't know for sure, but based on the little bit of information we know, it seemed like we might have found something older than Frieren, which doesn't happen very often.
I mean, I'm going by the wiki. It says 1,000 plus, so that's what I'm going on. Wait, Frieren's age, but.
Yeah, so 1,214 is 1,000 plus, but it could be as older than Frieren. You know what I mean? It's the second thing we've come across that could be older than Frieren. So anyway, that being said, it just was an interesting little note that they brought something into play that was like that old, which is unusual. Let's see, some of these things I already said. I thought there was a lot of irony in the fact, and maybe a little hypocrisy in the fact that Frieren goes better sooner than later when they ask her to come like help. And I'm like, yeah, but my brother in Christ, like, you made them wait like 50 years before you showed up and said better sooner than later. To go fight the wolf demons. The Demon Lord is 80 years old. Excellent work. Oh, Frieren complimented them again when they covered her, like, and they landed and they were like, it was like a well-organized group. She goes, excellent work. And I thought that was sort of interesting because I remember last episode I mentioned that, like, they pointed out to her the value of a compliment, and then they made it a point for her to have her compliment somebody that episode. And here she is, like, complimenting somebody again. I thought that was worthy of note that they're incorporating her saying that into the show a lot now. Let's see. I think Stark didn't try to draw the sword because he didn't feel worthy. He didn't feel like it was worth trying. At 12:15, it just now occurred to me that Frieren is a bookworm. And I thought that was a little funny, so I thought I'd point that out, that we can confirm that she's a bookworm. Stark is only 18. Just an interesting date to put in there. Frieren has no concept that a potion... Oh, this goes back to my demon exploration. Frieren has no concept that a potion that dissolves clothing is tantamount to, like, basically sexual assault.
I mean, the thing is, she only has that potion and got that potion because her master told her that men like potions like that. I don't think she was intending to use the potion on Stark. That's the way she was talking. It's not like she was just gonna give it to him so he can use, if he wanted to use it on somebody else. This is funny. I mean, granted, she probably doesn't understand the sexual stuff, but at the same time, I don't think the intent was for her to use it on him. I think she was just trying to give it to him so he can use it on, I guess, some unlucky lady And like, I mean, but again, Star doesn't know what that's for. Or,
Like she doesn't get it though. Like she doesn't get that that's inappropriate. That's wild. That she's like, oh, here's something you'll like, and it's very like demon like.
I think that's her master's fault, though.
Could be, but you see what I mean? It's very demon like for her to like come in and be like, oh, you know what I mean? Here's something.
You really think demons care about sexual acts? I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that's something you can attribute to demon. I think that's just people in general. Just, you know, if there's some type of perversion that they can get into. Like, I don't know if I want to attribute that to demon. That just seems like a little bit far, considering that demons don't seem to care about interpersonal stuff anyway. I feel like that's a part of interpersonal. I'm not saying it isn't sexual abuse. I'm just saying that or sexual assault, not abuse, but, sexual assault. Because I don't know, like I wouldn't say that's demon like. If I had to be real, it's wrong, but I don't know if a demon would care that much.
The struggling with the morality part is what makes it demon like to me.
But again, I really blame a lot of that on Flame.
Yeah, you could. But she doesn't have like, I mean, she's been around people for a long time. Like she did have that whole 1,000 years to work on this. You know what I mean?
She was working with a bunch of dudes. What do you expect? I'm sorry. I don't know. Just like I get that. I get, you know, that, you know, you're gonna treat that demon like, but I'm just saying, like, she's been with a bunch of dudes for a good portion of her life. Well, not a good portion, like a 10 years of her life doing adventuring, and I'm pretty sure some of them got up to even I bet the freaking corrupt priest got into some naughty things, and she was just like, oh, so this is normal, because she hasn't been hanging out with a bunch of girls. She's been hanging around a bunch of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I don't blame all of it on Flame, but like Flame is the one encouraging it, saying that, you know, men want this gift. Frieren's gullible enough, or like not gullible, but naive enough to believe everything that her master tells her is true, morality or not. Flame basically erased her.
But I mean, just the way that like, just basic stuff like that, you should be like have some semblance of natural like instinct for, like you know, like when everybody when Himmel and the group were all just kind of chuckling to themselves, and Himmel was watching them and like an alien that didn't know what humor was, and like you know what I mean, and thinking, oh, here's a fun idea, like I will give them this potion because I was told guys like potions like this, without having the critical thinking skills that would help her understand how inappropriate that was. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but like I think there's a set of guys out there that would like a potion like that. I don't know, like I don't know.
It is, but the idea of like giving it to him in front of Frieren, you know what I mean, in front of Fern, who, and like not understanding that there might be a problem there, and like not being able to filter. Do you know what I mean? I feel like is the problem there.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, in a realistic situation, and at what point in her life would she have been able to develop, I guess, a sense of shame? And also, before you say anything, I also want to point out that, like, unlike Fern, Frieren doesn't really have much to show off. She's kind of like a boy underneath. She's got different body parts, that's for sure, but like she's kind of like, she isn't. Whatever I say is gonna dig me into a hole here, so I guess I'm just gonna dig the hole. She's already kind of shown that she has a complex about her body anyway compared to Fern, but it's like, I guess for her, in her mind, it's like, what's the big deal? Like, I've seen myself naked. What's the big deal? So like maybe she's thinking about it in that regard too. It's like nobody should really care that much, because like, you know, Fern, maybe in her mind, Fern might be an anomaly. I don't know. stretching, but still, it's just I don't know. I just say I
I
feel
hear
like
you.
that's not like a demon quality. That's just more of like a bad person, like a naughty individual quality versus that being a demon. Even the morality bit can still be attributed to a naughty person versus just it being strictly a demon quality.
Yeah, I hear you. It just happens a lot, and that's what makes me wonder.
I've just seen it in an anime. Typically, even Master Roshi is a good example of this. Sorry.
I just watched the Dragon Ball Super episode where they recruit Master Roshi for the Tournament of Power. And like, holy crap, did he like sexually assault that girl?
Well, I mean,
Holy crap.
that's basically his character. Ever since like,
But like, I mean, there's been moments where he's done like a little scattered like moment of like inappropriateness, but they just like went hog wild. Like they were like, we are not going to hold back at all this time. Like we're just gonna
I mean,
we're just gonna straight up like chase a woman and corner her and like grab her tits and that's all there is to it.
he's
And it's
touched
just like,
women's
my
bodies
God.
before. I think in Dragon Ball he's done that.
But not that much. Like it was a lot.
Wasn't that the whole? I mean, wasn't the whole episode him trying to fight his desires for that? Anyway, wasn't that that point of that episode was he was trying to?
Yeah, I think anybody that had gone that far down that rabbit hole would have been like, yeah, I think I need to stop and reflect on my life at this point because holy shit, I just assaulted real hard.
I mean, but the thing is, like, too, is like, isn't that Master Roshi in a nutshell though, the dirty old man trope? Because I feel like he's assaulted Bulma on multiple occasions.
It was a lot though, dude. It was a lot.
I feel like he's assaulted Bulma on multiple occasions. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just saying what I'm like. For me, it's like, I don't know. He's been this way as far as I can remember. He's been this bad as far as I can remember. Like,
yeah,
he's been dissolved to his pervert nature, and I think that's just funny because this is the kind of character he is now. Because in every episode that he's ever included in, he's always looking at a Victoria's Secret. I'm gonna say it's Victoria's Secret. I know it's a porn mag, but like, you know, he's constantly got these mags somewhere in his house, and every time we see him, he's reading one of them, and it's like he's clearly not ashamed of his of like what he's doing. He should be, but he's clearly not ashamed. And for me, I just think this again, as bad as it is, like I think I just been like, what's the word here? I know English. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. It's probably because it's so late. Crap. I've been desensitized to his antics. I realize they're bad.
You're looking for the word normalized.
I don't know. Like if I say, I think it's normal. It's just like I just don't flinch at it anymore. Because it's
normalized just means you've absorbed it like it's a normal everyday thing.
I don't think it's a normal everyday thing. If I thought it was a normal everyday thing, I'd be in jail right now. But
not if you normalize like seeing it in anime.
I'm taking it as like I would do this on a daily basis. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just like I don't think it's normal. I just think it's something that it shows up in. I guess it's like normal in an anime sense, but it's like I don't sit here and think it's a good idea. Shoot, like it's just something that he does as a character, and you know, whenever he doesn't show up, it's probably a good idea. I mean, he sexually assaulted Poir, who was in a woman's body. And for clarification, Poir's a boy apparently. I've been thinking Poir's a girl the entire time I was watching Dragon Ball Z.
I liked in Team 4-Star when they're like, Poir, turn into Bulma. And he's like, turn into Bulma.
Yamcha's just as dirty. I'm pretty sure he's had Poir do that on multiple occasions. He's not as dirty as Master Roshi, but he can be just as dirty. He's like a level like lower on the pervert scale. Oh no, higher on the. There's no good way to place Yamcha on the pervert scale. So I don't think I'm going to. What time is it? Oh shoot. I'm gonna shut up so you can get your rest of your notes out.
Um, you're gonna have a lot to say about this.
Oh no, no shut up.
Frieren and Fern have some almost sexual tension sometimes. Examples see me are when she gains the power to see through clothes and immediately looks at Frieren. There's in this episode when she's like carrying Frieren and Frieren wakes up and goes, "No, don't put me down. You smell good." And then the fact that Frieren, like, the way she gets rid of the clothes is to melt away Frieren's clothes. There's like there's starting to be a few almost sexual tension moments.
I don't think it's a sexual tension, but whatever. I know.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way I'm looking at it. I don't know how you're looking at it, but like this is how I'm looking at it. I've seen lesbian interaction in anime. What they're doing is nowhere close. Even like the playful lesbian who like teases. Granted that we haven't had locker room scenes with Frieren and Fern, so but like I've seen like the type of things that Frieren is doing is on the same level as some of those scenes in other shows I've seen, but she isn't like groping Fern at every chance. I will say the dissolving the clothes. I mean, but Fern did that to Frieren because she was just upset with Frieren, and she wanted to get rid of that potion. But she didn't get rid of when she told her to. I guess like I mean honestly, if that is true, there is sexual tension. Like, but that clearly means that she hates Stark. Like my point's been proven. Man hating lesbian.
Yeah, I mean that might just be he's not a candidate, but
still hates him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I would say I liked how they had Stark doing good deeds, and like you had to go find out because Stark's not like bragging about them or telling anybody. But there were definitely moments where Stark was doing good deeds, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he saved my kid in front of a tree," or "He helped me push the cart," you know. And I like that they show sort of Himmel-like behavior because like that's anytime they come into a place and mention Himmel, people talk in almost identical way about them, you know. Like, oh yeah, Himmel saved my cat from a tree would be certainly something you might hear, you know. Probably something more serious now. That stuff is probably lost to time a little bit, but I think that some of these things were like, you know, it felt very Himmel-like, which, like I said again, like seems like they're building that up a little bit. Fern had no idea what to do about Stark looking at the clouds was funny. Fern isn't very fair to himself. Like he was just a kid back then when all that happened, and I think that
Stark,
I'm sorry, Stark isn't very fair on himself. I had Fern written just above it, and I looked the wrong thing. I think. He's just like he was just a tiny kid back then. He's not a coward to like no, let me go die. It's a terrible idea. So I thought that I thought they're setting up a character arc where he finds a way to forgive himself because that seems to be what you would do, you know, at that point.
But here's the problem though. He's in a village that values strength. I mean, I'm not saying that he isn't being fair to himself, but at the same time, like you're a little kid growing up in a town where you know, everybody only values strength. I mean, your own father abandons you out there in the middle of the water because he doesn't think you have any potential.
Yeah, I think that that's what they're setting up. I think they're setting up that in a fair amount of time, we're going to see Stark kind of learn to forgive himself a little bit.
While he's searching through his notes, I thought about something nice to say about Fern. I don't know why. I just immediately thought about it. Like, as you're talking about, she was searching for to start doing all those good deeds. It seemed like maybe she was softening up. Maybe she is just being awkward, but at the same time, I still find a lot of what she says to him kind of mean. So like, I mean, she seemed like she enjoyed seeing all the good deeds that he was doing, because every time she was looking for him, somebody would tell him that he was already here. He just went off someplace. So it was like, it seemed like she may have been softening up to him, but at the same time, I don't know. I find those moments of her being kind and whatnot when she isn't near him so messed up when she is right next to him. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, to me, it doesn't seem right to me. It's like, why is she so nice about him when she's not near him, but the moment she's near him, she's completely rude and a-hole to him. Whatever.
Almost done with my notes.
Gotcha. How my butt.
I like this one. I really talked about. I think that her warming up to him at the end, especially after she heard his life story and how he'd never gotten a birthday present, that seemed to really warm her up. And then after she heard that, she kind of warmed up, and they seemed like they had kind of a nice day together. And I think that was like start of an arc where I think it was a step. I shouldn't say an arc, but I think she stepped in the direction of feeling more warmly to him at that point. Even to the point at 20 minutes exactly, they focus on their hands as they're walking next to each other, and you're like, are they going to hold hands? And they don't, but the only reason they would be showing those hands so close to each other is because they want you to wonder if they're going to hold hands.
Or the fact that Stark had a bracelet on his wrist.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was.
I didn't even notice that over the sound of the fact that their hands were so close.
The sound? What in the world? How hard were you listening?
It's a meme to make something very obvious, give it an extreme sensory thing that has nothing to do with its actual sensory stuff. So yeah, I couldn't even hear it over the sound of how loud the tension was with those hands being so close to each other. Hamburg steak, I guess that's hamburger, right?
Yeah.
That was the idea. And then that was it. And I just listed that the next episode is a version of One's Own Kind.
Japanese hamburger steak. Oh, I always thought there was this hamburger, but apparently it's not a hamburger. Huh.
Hamburger, cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
I don't eat hamburgers for breakfast, cowboy. So
it's a Pulp Fiction quote.
Tell how much I know about Pulp Fiction by the way I responded. Yeah. So this is just like, yeah, that was a giant hamburger steak though. Good lord. Yeah. I will probably have my complaints about Frieren probably for the majority of the show. Who knows? I swear to God, she complains or she insults him again next episode. I'm gonna be so upset. Calling that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why I'm so offended for Stark, and Stark doesn't seem to care all that much. But whatever. I guess yeah. With that, next episode is something. Hold up. You literally just said the title, not.
A version of One's Own Kind.
Is that a Kino's Journey title?
No, that's the next episode of Frieren. Funny you had to ask though.
Oh, a version. I said I heard a version, not a version, not the word of jeez. Okay. Skip that. So let me see. Crunchyroll is up to date. So when I come back here Saturday. Yep, there you go. All right. That and my freak out over Fern. We will continue next week on the next episode. Good show, even though I'm complaining about characters or certain things in the show. Can't like everything about something. Wanted to with the show, but it's showing me some things. Okay, I could have dealt without art. Maybe I need to have a better open mind about it. But still enjoying the show. So we'll come back next week for this podcast. But Thursday we'll be doing the Dispatch game. There are 4 more episodes, I believe. So we'll just do 2 more Thursday and then 2 more next week. So we'll be closing that out pretty quickly. But see you guys then.
See y'all then.